I completely get what you mean, Margaret, when you say maybe you didn't like that candidate, but maybe we shouldn't rule him out just because of a 4 minute conversation. I took down some notes about some misunderstandings there had, maybe some of them because of culture and communication. And if you agree, I'd like to tell you maybe some things I saw and maybe some solutions as well to those problems. And maybe we could reach out to him again since he was a really qualified candidate. First of all, we know that language, education, culture, and experiences are all factors that impact the way someone views a message. And maybe when you asked him some questions, he didn't get the message or he didn't decode the message as it was meant, basically. And inversely, maybe he answered some questions that we did not interpret perfectly or as he wanted. Um, Even though we might live in the same place, beliefs might be different because of the previous experiences. So, for example, he worked internationally. I saw that in his presentation letter. Maybe that has some impact on his professional behavior and how he does things in business. We know that culture is very different in Europe than here in Quebec. He clearly stated his important values as well. So respect, transparency, and helping others. And when you ask him about annoying bosses in his past, well, maybe he didn't want to be disrespectful, and we shouldn't judge him on that. Humor as well was not something he participated in this interview. So he tried to insert a joke at the beginning, but he did not respond to your joke, and I think it's just his way of staying professional, and he didn't want to mean it as insulting or anything. So maybe next time we shouldn't only base ourselves on the artifacts, but also on what we could see and hear. Not only what we could see and hear from Jean-François, his artifacts, but also on try to understand some of his fundamental beliefs and values that really pushes him to act this way. Second of all, when it comes to communication, I think language was a pretty heavy barrier when in this interview. Let me know what you think, but I think because of his accent, maybe it was not his first language. It was not. Maybe he would have been more at ease talking French, and that just pushes him to really that reinforces his beliefs and go back to his own norms when speaking in a second language. Next time, I'd be happy to translate maybe some important questions in French, and maybe feel more comfortable answering in French. Another way of communicating is obviously nonverbal communication. We know that Albert Mehrabian has done a study on basically formulated a study which says the 738-55 way of communicating, which says that only 7% of communicating is done through words, while 38% is through the tone of voice and 55% with body language. And he did not express a lot with his nonverbal emotions or nonverbal signs, and maybe that's why we had some difficulty to get really build a relationship with him. Maybe next time we should try to get a bit of small talk before. This would really help us to build a relationship, build trust, and get to know him better. Try to understand his background. His words, however, in the end clearly showed he was interested in working for our organization. So maybe we could see some solutions and in the future contact him again if you like. First of all, building a relationship, as I said, with the small talk previous to the interview might be very useful. It will help us understand his culture as well. So this would solve a big part of their problem, being open to his culture and being open to the miscommunication and understanding that there will be some misinterpretation is going to help us in the end. Finally, for the communication barrier, I'd be happy to translate some sentences, as I said, some answers that are important. And obviously, I say this with no intentions of undermining you. Just what I thought about the interview. Maybe he was a really good participant. Maybe we could reach him out. If you like, I could send him an email and maybe meet him again, try to get to know him better, and maybe we'll have a second chance to talk to him.